There is an island located in the middle of Darrow Lake of Western Plaguelands named Caer Darrow, which means People's Fort. Upon entering the island and passing the bridge, a statue takes adventurers' attention, surrounded by abandoned, ruined houses. Some signs of Cult of the Damned and Scourge invasion of the Third War is in sight. As you go further in the fort, there are two statues, which could mean this land was owned by a wealthy individual. At top of the road, there are two ghosts, Eva Sarkov and Lucien Sarkov. When talking to Eva, she greets you warmly and welcomes you to the castle. I was curious and asked her, "What are you doing here? This place seems deserted."
Hello, young mistress. I'm Eva, and this is my husband Lucien. It's a pleasure to have you here.
She replied.
We were once servants of House Barouve. I was headmaid, and Lucien was master's butler. We worked for Barouves for decades, until...
Until what, Eva? I asked her. I must know. And she went on about how full of life and happy Barouves were. How their empire was so vast and included Taranmel, Brill, South Shore, and Caer Darrow, and their primary residence was in Scholomance. As the days passed, wealthy master became more and more depressed. Paranoia and rage would overcome them often. At night, servants could hear the Barouves arguing and shouting at each other in their chambers. They were obsessed with their wealth and wanted to live forever. Eva's once full of life master made a deal with human mage named Kel'Thuzad. From the deal sprang the school of necromancy, a place which bore the cult of the damned and would become their capital. As the days passed, the Barouves became older and weaker. Dark beings began to take residence in wings of the castle. Maid's upkeep became impossible and disgusting. This was their home, everything they knew. They had no other place to go. Slowly they lost their touch with their master and were separated from the household. The maids were separated from each other, and all they could hear was screams, screams, screams from unbearable torture.
Knowing we had nowhere to go, Lucien would sneak out of the room at day when the school was quiet to get food and drink.
They kept it up for 6 months, witnessing horrible changes in the house. Foul monsters walked through the halls freely. Dark cultists populated every inch with rituals and sacrifices. Time was getting shorter for them. They were eventually found, stripped naked. Eva and Lucien were put inside a circle for days. Undeads surrounding them, torturing them. Finally the doctor came. He introduced himself as the butcher. The butcher talked about blood of the innocent and his dark master, Kyrtonos, and how he must please his master. Finally the pain was over. There was no more life to drain. They were dead. The sweet embrace of the dead was upon them with open arms. But the butcher revived them. Ghouls feasting on their flesh. They couldn't die. Unbearable pain. Butcher laughing at them. Their spirit cannot rest until their body is found and laid to peace. Finally they understood what the screams was for. The butcher exposed them to the pain they did not know existed. They would have died, but the cruel master's magic won't let them.